Have you ever been hyped up by a so-called expert and that's left you confused, broke, sometimes broken, but most importantly, you're no closer to your goal? You are not alone. In a world where charisma is seen as currency and screenshots pass for credibility, you, my friend, unfortunately, you're getting played. Today, I'm going to pull back the curtain on what I call fake gurus. The ones who talk fast, they're sweet, they shine hard like a Lamborghini, but deliver absolutely nothing. This is your wake-up call, and I need you to stay tuned. I am the Millennial Coach. You're locked into the core. Yalla, Yenko, let's go.
You're tuned in to the core with the Millennial Coach, discussing topics on real life. Check it out. Everywhere you go, don't forget the ghetto. Listen to the core. Don't forget the ghetto. With the Millennial Coach. Don't forget the ghetto. 'Cause it's the best show.
So, people, this is something so many people are experiencing. You are signing up to programs, whether it's via school, high level, it's via a range of different platforms with different people. Now, I'm not discrediting that many people have a lot of amazing things to teach many of us. What I am worried about is the amount of money most of us, unfortunately, are spending and trusting these people with our dreams. We don't have the know-how or intellectual property at hand to know whether or not this person is going to guide us and help us. And before I get into the top tips of how to spot a guru, there's a few key things I need you to understand. Is their programs actually accredited from a CPD perspective? Or do you think that they have the qualifications and the acumen, business acumen, to teach what they're teaching? And have they actually reached their goals in the work that they're teaching you about? These are the key and fundamental areas that we're going to evolve in this conversation. And I want you to really take note of how you're choosing these courses. And the thing is, everybody wants to be able to live a life where there's no struggle. I completely resonate with that, and I know what that feels like. But some people just want to do something that is their absolute passion. And if the money flows with it, that is just the added bonus. So I know, but cut me a check if you do make the money post this video, please. Thank you. So I want you to also recognize a key component that is consistently missing from a lot of these programs. How many of these programs or gurus understand how you learn? It's not about what they're delivering. Do they understand your learning style? Do you have any learning difficulties? Are you somebody who's advanced in this area but just wants to elevate a little bit more? Or are you a beginner who really needs their hand held? So these are elements that are never taken into consideration. And if these gurus get annoyed because you don't actually like how you're being taught, how do they actually adjust their teaching style to ensure everybody in class actually is successful? I don't know how many people ask themselves these fundamental questions, but I'm here to open up that conversation. I am the Millennial Coach. You are locked into my show, The Core, and we are talking about how fake gurus actually confuse, keep you broke, and also getting you nowhere closer to your goals. So top tip number one, they sell success, but hide their receipts. No real track record, just vibes and testimonials. Oh yeah, this person, has been really successful and this person's been great. Now, one of the things I will say, when people sell success, they sell it as a sales strategy in order to actually hook you in as a potential client. Now, some people can actually afford to grow. But what I do want us to stop saying and stop thinking this is a healthy way to sell a course. Success doesn't always like speed. Sometimes success likes strategy, thought process, and due diligence. These are things that are not spoken about. So when we do things in haste, how many people, and I always talk about relationships because that is always so entertaining, right? So relationships, how many people rush into marriages that I've had countless people say, I knew I should never marry that person. Success does not love speed at the deficit of your joy. So sometimes you have to ask yourself, what success is being sold? Is it for their success or is it for you? Number 2, their strategy is be like me. Be the best you can be. Copy and paste confidence without frameworks or depth doesn't yield results. And why I'm saying that, you cannot be successful like them because you are not them. And I think this is a misconception that people think they can be like that person. It's like art when you are moving into entrepreneurship or building a business. You have to understand what makes that business work, but you have to do it in, as Frank Sinatra says, my way. So you got to remember, when you're doing something, it has to be in the style that works for you. Nobody can replicate somebody else. If we think about hip hop, and I always talk music, right? In some aspects. When Biggie came out, Biggie was just like amazing. Tupac and Biggie, they just took the world by storm. But then Shine came out, and Shine had a bit of a gravelly voice where it kind of had elements of Big. But if you're from the same camp, which was Bad Boy at the time, there will be some similarities, but they were completely different artists. And Biggie was more of a hip hop artist that was very harmonious, but Shine had more grit to his art. So this is the same thing in any business. If I've got a cleaning business and you've got a cleaning business, what is your USP? What makes you special? What makes you different? That's why you've got to remember, you cannot be a cut and paste of the person selling you the course. Number 3, they dangle scarcity or FOMO to make you panic buy. Only 3 spots left. This is only going to be open for 48 hours. Let me make something clear to you. If somebody wants to, I will call it the takeaway sales strategy, maybe they're not the right organization for you, because if you're going to sign up to a course with Harvard, you've got term times and deadlines of how long you have open for this intake. So I really want to make this important to you. The success loves speed, I don't necessarily agree with that term. I think it's quite dangerous. And I think if you are somebody who actually have had so much trauma in your life, rushing into something else when you haven't cleaned up your mess before will create more mess in some respects. Not all situations are the same, but one of the things I want you to understand is that your mindset and you have patterns of behavior. If you have done so many things that haven't worked and you actually have wasted money, you haven't even seen it halfway through, do you think that joining another course because it sounds great is wise? Sometimes we're just addicted to doing, not necessarily addicted to being our best. Because what the key thing is when people dangle scarcity and fear of missing out, it makes you make mistakes by panicking to purchase. Price goes up in 10 minutes. Well, let it go up, because what the person's going to do in a month's time, they're going to do the same promotion. Just use a different email address. What I will say to you, this is manipulation, not marketing. And the thing that we don't understand is we're not in control of ourselves. We're actually giving our power away to somebody else. I would actually have a conversation. I would actually take a call. I will actually ask questions. And I will say, I haven't got a lot of trust. And because I've had experiences where people have suggested I do X, Y, and Z, and, but you also need consistency. If you have a chronic illness like me, think about getting a small team in. If you can't afford it, you have to start automating your content or your work or your communication. There's different strategies that can be in place of reaching out and being consistent with a customer, but you really have to be strategic and think differently in order for that to be successful. Number 4, they avoid any credentials or oversight. Now, there is a law of attraction specialist, and he's been questioned by a lot of people. He's in the US, and I will not be giving his name. And he claimed he's writing a research paper. To this day, no one's seen this research paper. They want evidence as to his theoretical approach and methodologies actually work. This guy's been avoiding giving this for the last 10 years. Yet, selling courses, writing books, and validating himself in an industry that's unregulated. What I do want to highlight is education now has become unregulated. So not everyone is genuine, and you really need to take heed about what I'm saying. Number 5, they use fame, not frameworks. So flashy podcast experiences and appearances and luxury cars are not substitutes for systems that actually work. If you take Homazi, I don't think I'm pronouncing his name right, but I love his wife, Layla. Layla, she sits at a table, brown, and I think she got a brown table with a black background. She just talks about her challenges. She actually buys companies and scales them. That's what she does. If you've got a small company, she'll buy it and scale it and make millions. But she and Homazi didn't start with millions. He actually asked her to sign a prenup. And because she had mentioned when her parents divorced, she watched her dad struggle because her mum took him to the cleaners. So she didn't hesitate to sign a prenuptial agreement because she wasn't in the relationship for money or fame. She was in a relationship for the genuine reason of love, where she could build frameworks and strategies with her husband to actually demonstrate to people she's going to teach how to be successful. Number 6, they coach from wounds, not wisdom. Personal trauma doesn't make you a coach, healing does. So when people talk, oh, this happened, that happened, listen, so many things happen. You can choose to leave people with wisdom or woe, in the words of Caroline Myss, one guru who I really do love and follow. It's so important to understand when people complain and whinge and whine, from what space is the teaching taking place? Number 7, they prioritize overnight success with zero strategy. So I don't pay attention to influencers because I don't want you to influence me anyhow, anyway. Because you've been doing something, it's been an overnight success, and it's not replicable. One influencer, I've got no idea what his name is, some young boy of Asian or Arab descent or Middle Eastern descent. And he spoke about he has got his dream job, investment banker, he's in his mid-20s or early 20s, and he got fired. And shall I tell you why he got fired? People realize he's got 336,000 approximately 1,000 followers. He went into the company and people started recognizing his podcast and knowing who he was. So you know what the people at the top did? They promoted him. See, this is why I am somebody, you have to earn the respect and deliverables to get promoted, not because you've got 333 or whatever, 36,000 followers. That's nonsense. Just because you talk doesn't mean that you're any good at anything. Let me just be real. And so he got promoted, and he said that he started sitting in meetings with all the senior directors. He said they would double his age, etc. They assumed that he could bring in clients that were his age. He didn't have a marketing strategy because he doesn't know any. He knows how to talk. and make you laugh on social media. He got fired because he couldn't deliver. Promising overnight success doesn't work because it's not real. Warren Buffett's children have been clear. And if you've watched his documentary, Buffett, honestly, what a beautiful family, beautiful person, beautiful, his wife's passed on, but his wife was absolutely beautiful as a human. They just cared about being good people. He never made a dime until over 40. His kids said that we never had money. When he got married, he's lived in that house for how many, 80 years, 70 years. Doesn't drive a flash car because his success was not overnight. It's compounded. Number 8, they build followers, not communities. If there's no engagement beyond likes, you're just a number. So let me highlight something. I was following a woman up until last night of Nigerian descent. No, it's not Kemi Badenoch. Because she's claiming that she no longer feels Nigerian, but I just wanted to throw that in. But she's of Nigerian descent, born and raised in the UK, and she's very outspoken. And she mentioned something about men who are on the down low. And I just thought, actually, she's got a point from her context. I just liked how she articulated herself. And then somebody had commented under my comment, this is a one-sided conversation. The thing is, because I don't know the person that commented under my comment, I don't really care, because I don't really share that view. And I didn't understand what the person was referring to begin with. So this influencer, if you saw the response, it was very disrespectful to the person that had commented under my comment. And they were swearing and being abusive. And I was like, because I hadn't seen the comment. So when I was like, if this is what you're responding to, I said, wow, this is interesting. I said, I've always really applauded the work you did. And I've always been a big supporter. And you don't know who I am, but you don't follow my work. You don't follow how real I am as a person, something along those lines. And then the other person, see, this is what I don't respect. I just had no love for this. But the other person jumped on the bandwagon who got disrespected and was like, you're uncouth and blah, blah. Just like, you've probably just ChatGPT this response nonsense. And I was just like, here we go. And then the same girl, the influencer, messaged me and said, this is for the other person if you didn't. But it was just a level of aggression. You've got likes, you've got followers, but I don't have any desire to be a part of a community of anger and aggression, disrespect and intolerable behavior. And the thing is, people follow people sometimes because they can't give themselves their own advice. But if you're following me, the Millennial Coach, you're already on your journey to success. You're already making the right decisions. All I am is your confirmation, right? That's all I am, is your confirmation. I am here as your sister, as Lisa, I have to credit everyone that I steal their words, as your sister in prosperity. I only want to see people thrive. I'm not interested in the glamorization. I'm not interested in accolades. I don't need to write a book to validate who I am. I don't want to set up a course where I don't understand how you learn. I only want to tell you what I want to tell you. Number 9, their clients sound like parrots, not leaders. And this is when they're like, oh, the call, they're so amazing, they're brilliant. And you know what I've had the experience of when I've gone on one of these courses? Or can you say something? And I don't feel comfortable saying anything because I'm like, I've not got any results yet. That's another thing, when they force you to do testimonials and you haven't left the room to actually put the strategy in place for implementation and return on investment. You can only give a testimonial when your return on investment has provided the success or the build up to success you've been looking for and working towards. Number 10, they deflect questions with "you're not ready" energy. Like, you ain't got the money, so you're not ready. Let me make something clear to you. Or if you invest in yourself, if I hear invest in yourself one more time, I'm going to fly kick someone up in their chest. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind up in here. That's how I feel. Invest in yourself. When I have enrolled into my MBA and I enrolled into my executive coaching masters, when I invested, do you think the lecturer said to me, well done for being here, you're investing in yourself? I've paid the money. I have signed up to the course. Of course, I've invested in myself. What a stupid statement to use to someone who's actually smart. And this is something, I'm not suggesting people who are doing courses are all stupid. There are some dumb ones. I'm not going to sit here in front, but there are some really amazing people. And I will say Layla Hamosi is one of them. She's gangster, right? But what my point of this is, stop patronizing smart people. Why do dumb people think smart people are dumb? When you start saying stuff like you've invested in yourself, success, love, speed, like you're manipulating me. Stop it. And you're manipulating people who just want to learn a strategy to help them rebuild, or in some cases, have an uplift in their life. Just talk to me about your skill. Let me learn from you. Stop trying to patronize me. And I'm talking about this from personal experience. I have told people, when I sit with them, there was a girl I spoke to yesterday about a program I want to take. I'm always investing in myself. That is a must. It's going to happen in a month or so, 6-8 weeks. And I said to her, let me say something to you, and I mean this without judgment. I understood why you said, people are investing in themselves, but don't encourage people to take credit cards out to actually, if they've already got debt and they are not managing the debt, what you're doing is actually unproductive or counterproductive. We have to be so careful what we choose to invest in, but also how we get the leverage to invest. People don't realize that you might take your last bit of money and invest in a product that will never serve you. And that, unfortunately, could have detrimental impact on not just you, but your loved ones. You could lose. I have heard people have lost property from investing in some of these fake gurus. So this is the thing. When they say you're not ready, then stay not ready. Don't try and be ready. Stay not ready until you are aligned with your finances, your mindset, and you're ready to go. Because if people don't like you asking questions about how the business runs and blah, 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 that's a massive red flag. Leaders welcome challenge. Always remember that. Leaders welcome challenge. Please don't forget. If you ask someone a question and they keep getting annoyed, they are not the leader for you. And there was a course I was going to take. The guy asked for 17,000. I gave him £1,000 to hold my spot. I never pursued the course because there was a feeling in my soul that this guy, he's a nice guy and he's got some good strategies and frameworks. So I will give him that credit. And he has helped people make millions. I'm not going to discredit him any shape or form. But because of having a chronic illness, there was, to me, a lack of empathy. I was actually feeling really sick on the last day and I actually cried. I think I cried because I was so fed up of being ill, but also cried because I actually wanted to really shift my business forward. And I was just tired of always striving and feeling like I wasn't moving forward. And then he said something to me and I just thought, oh. What did he say, you're asking? How long do you want to stay in this situation? Never. Like, don't ask me questions that we both know the answer to. How long do you want to stay? I don't want to be in the situation at all. That's why I'm here. But sometimes I had challenges at the time, health-wise, and I'm not going to sit here and be embarrassed financially. So I had to really think. I might not be able to do it now, but then he said, this might go up. The course will go up from 17, maybe when you come back it's 25,000. Well, go and get your 25,000 client then. And the thing is, when I sat down with somebody, an accountability partner, he asked me, just based on what I had said, he said to me, maybe he's not the coach for you. And I had to, unfortunately, agree with that. So I'm going to leave you with this. Real leaders are not loud. They will not make you feel bad about your situation. They will not encourage you to take debt out unless they can absolutely hand on heart with a money back guarantee that they are going to make you successful in 30 to 90 days. Like, if there is no money back guarantee and it's not a signed contract that you both have signed, do not do it. That's my advice. Real leaders who are not loud, they're consistent. The next time someone says to you, you're investing yourself, for me, that's a red flag, because it is a typical technique that is used in the courses today. If people don't care about you and you don't turn up to a one-to-one, or you don't finish the course and they don't care, that's not right. And I'll tell you why. At universities, when you don't show up for university, they contact you to ask for your well-being through a safeguarding policy. What I've realized, these people do not care. They're happy to take your money, and they might not care about your challenges. Is that person the right person for you? If they're too perfect, they're too fast, get this thing done in 3 days, pause. Please take a step back and wait at least 7 days before you re-engage with communication. Ask them to leave you for a little bit for you to think about it. If they say the deal is closed, okay, I'm okay about it. Stop having FOMO. It's a self-curated experience that creates anxiety and leaves you with some levels of depression. I would also check their credentials. So if you've ever fallen to the hype, I'm gonna say it really isn't your fault, because we do want to, everyone watching this show, you want a level of success. I don't care if you only want to make 10,000 a month or even 100,000 a year. I don't care what your level of success is, but make sure you get there from a heart-centered coach who cares about you. And before I leave, I want to give you an example of what heart-centered leadership looks like. Some things I was doing hasn't been working out, and I rescheduled my coaching session. And I told her I was going to cancel it again because I feel like I'm not achieving the goals. And she said, I need to unpick this. She said, first of all, I want to thank you for being honest. Now, she coaches how I coach. Being honest about how you're showing up for yourself in a state of vulnerability. If you can be vulnerable with your coach, they are the real deal. If your coach will message you, make sure you check in and also insist that you book another session in your package, they are the right coach. If they talk to you in between sessions like I would do, there's no extra charge. Because if they're always charging you, they're not in it for the right reasons. If they don't deliver the things they say they're going to deliver, I'm going to send you this. They're not the right coach and they're not legitimate. If their programs haven't been successful, and people, you've gone on Trustpilot and there's more reviews of negativity than there are positivity, don't do it. Use Trustpilot as your first counter-intuitive tool to check out the red flags. So as Oprah says, or is it Dr. Maya Angelou, when you know better, you do better. So I'm going to leave you, but I want you to like, share, and subscribe. And I hope that looking out for fake gurus, and the reason I'm looking at that camera, and that camera, I'm talking to everybody. I need you to pay attention. It's not your fault, but don't be naive and think everyone is telling you the truth, because they're not. I am the Millennial Coach. You've been locked into the core, and we've been really focusing on being aware and checking out the red flags of fake gurus. Peace.
You're tuned in to the core with the Millennial Coach, discussing topics on real life. Check it out everywhere you go. Don't forget the Listen to the call. Don't forget the ghetto. With the Millennial Coach. Don't forget the ghetto. 'Cause it's the best show.